Hey, good morning, everybody. Morning for me. This is Sean from War of the Ring, otherwise known as Disgruntled Veteran. So I found this game, or I played this game a while back with Rick Ciplia, otherwise known as Slick Rick. Some of y'all may have seen him or heard him in other videos, but anyways, this is a really fun game. I just wanted to share it with everybody. Kind of comical in some ways, and it was really fun at the end. And anyways, here goes. So uh, turn one, pretty definitely a strong free player hand, other than I don't have a card to play. Sometimes when I'm here, I like to go ahead and use a token to draw a card, especially with two eyes. Generally, I would move twice here. I don't have a separation card. So, strong argument to draw a card with a token, but tokens are more powerful as tempo than as a small tactical gain. So, I just go ahead and move. Um, with the idea that I move twice. If I get hit and revealed, I'll use the Palantir if I kill Gandalf to hide, and then the muster to do something with. But anyways, I get hit right off the bat, one arm. In this case, there's no Saruman, and I've got another will, so I'm going to think about killing Gandalf, but then I decide to change, hoping he does not have a nasty card. He draws a strategy card, so he's staying on military. I go ahead and draw a strategy card. Yep. Okay. And Rick moves. I hide. The rest of this is pretty boilerplate. Without knowing who he's going to muster, the elves, I mean, are yeah, default, but let's see, he does Isengard. A little risky. If I was him, I would have been highly tempted to put Sauron to war and maybe take Old Forest Road, but it depends on what cards you have. Whatnot. Anyway, another beautiful roll for me, and it's more beautiful because I can get the elves to war and probably not roll a muster next turn, but I can certainly get the elves to war. I can move twice. I can do it all. But now that I've got a playable card, I want to move twice, but I also want to get another playable card. I'm looking for a scouts. I will gladly take King Brandsman, though. All right, looks like an opening double pincer, as Billy calls it. Yeah, going for the Elven Strongholds. I move safe, moving his forces out. Move again, safe, okay, and put Saruman in play. So now there's a strong argument. Do you put the elves to war here? Um, odds are Shadow player will get at least one muster, probably two, which puts them on 9 dice. And I've rolled two wills in a row, so there's kind of like karmic odds that I won't roll one for at least a few more turns. Kind of a hard thing to do, but I'm going to go ahead and. Ooh, he jumps the gun. He plays Shadow Lengthens, but I'm going to go ahead and take the chances and hope that I get maybe two musters this next time. Excuse me. Beautiful. I got cured on ships. And what do you kill here? I'm at full strength. I don't need axe and bow, is my opinion. Sudden strike is also pretty low value right now with only one leader at any potential stronghold. So what do I kill? Sudden strike. Yep. And there it is. No musters. Love it. So this is problematic for a number of reasons. Realistically, this gives Shadow player 4 attacks. They got a muster for Sauron, a muster for Witch King, and 4 attacks. That's enough to get the Elven strongholds under siege, and I spent so much money on getting them to war, and I can't even use it. As I joke with Slick Rig, yeah, I may have, not gotten a muster, but at least I got a will, being sarcastic. Um, all right, so I go ahead and move to get out of the range of being stuck in Moria with the reveal. Not that he would probably do that, but anyway. Move again, safe again, twice. So now what do you do? As you're if you are shadow or a free player here, do you burn a ring? I think you have to move first because we're trying to kill Gandalf, so I do. Safe again. So now what do you do? Do you burn a ring and get 6 moves? Yeah, pardon my language in the chats, but I was just like, man, you could never not want to get hit, move 3 times on 2 dice, and it happened. But. Indeed, it did. So, um, So I'm torn here. There's always a calculus on whether or not. So as of now, I've moved 5 times. I'm on turn 3. Shadow player's moving along fantastically. If I move again, I'm on schedule to hit um, Mordor at the end of turn 5. But that gives him 2 more turns, and with any luck, that will put Dewline almost extinguished. And with Corsairs on bar, it's game over turn 7 at the latest. Maybe I get lucky and hold out. So, but at the same time, if you burned a ring to um, add an elite to maybe Lorien, maybe you can prolong that. As I'm telling Rick in the comments, I don't know how to play this. I don't know the best move. I'd love an opinion. So add an elite to Lorien. Cool. Puts Lorien under siege, not to let it get any stronger. In this case, I chose Lorien over Woodland Realm because the 1-2 is less likely to delay the 9-1-2 up here than the 1-3 is to delay this force. If Shadows on Misty Mountains is a late game draw and he has to hardcore muster it, this force could realistically hold out for a while. So that's why I chose Lorien. It does it, and of course, Witch King, pass it up, and I draw Gray Company and Dane's Ironfoot. Love it. So I've got 3 perfect cards for the area: Kiradon's, Dane, and Kingbrand's Men. I know I'm going to kill Gray Company and probably going to kill Mighty Attack now. Definitely do not need Mighty Attack. 5 moves with 1 damage. I'm good. So I go ahead and get through Moria. I do want to get Gandalf killed. Oh dear, I just saw that. Oops. Did anybody just see what I did? I just caught it doing a replay. Damn it, man. Let's see how that affects the game. I was at 5 movement and I went to 6 and revealed. What did? Oh, I moved. Okay, yeah, I moved to kill Gandalf. Ouch, that sucks, man. That really puts my spirits low. I'm pretty certain I did that. This is this is weird. Sometimes when you review games, you catch this. Um, Ouch. Well, Rick, I apologize. Let's see. I was looking in the chat just to see. I'm about positive I'd only moved 5 times. 3 that turn, once the second turn. Yeah, that's 5 moves. Oh, well, let's continue the review. Let's see how it affected it. Already looking at this, I'm in kind of a situation. If Woodland Realm falls quickly, I am in a really ugly situation here. So he attacks Woodland Realm, plays Desperate Battle, doesn't even need the card. I get destroyed. Do I take 1 hit. Um, of course, I'm going to move to get information. Okay, cool. So Gandalf's dead. So what's my dilemma here? I want to. I would love. Well, no matter what, I've got to get Gandalf at this point. If I could get into Mordor somehow, that would be great. But I can't. I'm 1 move shy. Um, I need Gandalf. This game still arguably has 3 turns left. That's 3 extra die for that will, and me using it any other way is not going to prolong it further. So I get it. I play it. Hopefully to yeah, I don't know. So he gets the Southerlings, Easterns, works. Here's my dilemma. I can play King Brandsman. I can play Erebor, or I can use Dane, excuse me, or I can use the H die to move the regular into Erebor, get a little greedy, hope that I can also move Veterus, and then play Dane before he attacks me. So if I play King Brandsman, that's just going to ensure that he completely does not attack Dale. He's just going to go around. So obviously, it is not my turn to move right now. Um, so he moves, and of course, this makes it a lot more annoying, I guess. What do you do? There's still no reason to act yet unless I wanted to move the regular in. If I move the regular in, he could attack. use a ring to attack a Dale again, knock it out, and then maybe use the final H to shore up into Dale and I don't know, do something. Anyways, it sucked. I needed one more die, excuse me. So he attacks Erebor, and I don't take the chance. I just go ahead and play Dane's Iron Foot card. It is what it is. Luckily, he attacks them first. That makes me happy. I can still play Dale, but even though now it's our brand, but its usefulness is very much uh, negated. It's just not as useful as a card now. So I get help unlocked for and Horn of Gondor. Who I think at this point? Oh, Horn of Gondor for sure. Yep. Okay. So, and I get 2 movements. So, yeah, I don't think I need a Palantir for anything that can't be played with a muster. So I go ahead and hide. He attacks. I play no quarter against Deadly Strife, which is beautiful. He gets 5 hits. Of course he does. And I get 4. And he presses down. And at this point, I could play Shield Wall, but that's probably a waste. I think I'm going to need it elsewhere. Yeah, I don't think I play anything. So he's rolling hot. He takes it down. It's cool. I move, safe. He does not immediately push me back, so I should be okay with Cruel Weather as long as nothing bad happens. So I draw 3, I random, and of course he hits Strider, so that's so dumb. Yep, classic. That was pretty discouraging for me, but it's always the risk. So 1 in 6, and I lost it. I kind of figured us out. So I've got 2 dice left to play. I'm gonna save one for Dalam Roth for Kirdan Ships in case he plays that. Maybe I played King Brand's Men too early, but I was really looking for either Aomer or a Scouts, and I don't get it. Maybe I could have just played. Um, no, I think I made the right call. I was gonna say I could have played my token, but that could be very useful for tempo. So he smokes my. Wow, that's very bold of him. And so looking at this situation, there's a couple ways. I don't know what shadow player. You know what? I do. He gave me his password.
Is it secret? Is it safe?
There we go. What does he have here? He does not have it. I don't remember. This game was a couple weeks ago. Um, so that's the cards that he has. And I didn't know that at the time. What I'm getting at is there could be a very clever play here. I don't know if you would do this as shadow player, but one potential play would be to empty or think to get me to maybe use a ring to attack or think, leaving Dolamroth completely assailable if you have Corsair's own bar for that, a ring or a move your leadership and then a ring to attack. You can take Dolamroth because I'm holding a muster. He has to know it's a potential that I have a reinforcement card, but I don't. And anyways, he takes some deep. I know what I'm going to do. I remember this. I'm going to ring and play Ents Rage and Elven Rope. But I wanted to make sure that he didn't do just what I said because he could have had a ring race or a black captain even. He doesn't, of course, but he could have. So um, he go ahead and attacks Helm's Deep, and he's gonna take it down. He misses, and he plays another card. Cool. So I get it. I get a couple hit points knocked off of him, but I'm pretty far behind. 6 VPs. We're gonna go ahead and call it 7. And what do we got? Lorien is not a given, but it's not in great shape either. So, oh, look at that. I draw a card. Why do I draw a card? In case he plays Corsairs? I don't know. I don't understand that. Yep. So I play Ents Rage and play a card. That was really bold. I don't know if I like that move with moving all the Ents out. That gave me a huge advantage there. Sorry. So draw Gua here and Wisdom of Elrond versus Many Kings and Flocks of Krebine. So I'm way ahead on the counts. Um, yeah, that little error in the 5 to 6 move. I'm gonna go back and double check, but I'm about positive that kind of broke this game and takes away from it. Either way, I hope it's enjoyable. Let's see, and not a particularly great hand. What did I have again for cards? Nothing fantastic. I did have Power 2 Great, which is awesome. Shadow Player does have 3 army cards, and they have Corsairs. Okay. So I move. I hit a 0, not what I wanted. Yeah, I wouldn't use your ring. You get the mouth. Use your ring on something else. So he's going to take down Dale. All right, cool. So I muster up Rohan. With Rohan, even if they get an easy Helm's Deep, it's so easy to delay them. And right here, this is what's going through my head. If you muster up these two, oftentimes shadow players, especially with an army like this, they're going to try to. Some will try to take fold to box you in. But if they do that, they're lucky. Maybe you don't hit them back. If you do hit them back, you've started to really jam them up because then they have to take it. Because if they don't take it, I'm just going to move one regular right back over. And then I've killed a second attack. And then they have to attack again and fold and they have to attack headers. So if they do move a regular over, I'm going to attack it anyways, just because I can play Curdons, I can play Power 2 Great. That's all I can really do. Here could be used. I'm not going to throw Gandalf in anything yet. So let's see what he does. Attack Ceteris. Probably the smarter play, but it depends how this goes. He plays Swarm to that. He gets 0. I get 0, and he presses. This might even be equally bad because now he's not strong enough to do anything. If he tries to group them up and attack me and he doesn't get me all in one hit, I'm just going to come up here. And then, that there's possibilities. There's all kinds of ugly things. If he hits me, I could have a scouts. Gandalf, there's through a day and a night. There's all kinds of ugly things. So I pass. Interesting. Hmm. I almost think I should have added an elite there, but we'll see. So he plays Corsairs. I'm obviously going to play Cured on Ships. He attacks Dale, plays as Great Host. What would I play? Probably nothing because that force is not likely to be strong enough to do anything. And he smokes me anyway, so whatever. Even if one regular survived, it was going to be way too expensive to build up a force to seriously challenge that. So, okay, so I do muster. I probably didn't before because either one of these armies individually were a threat. And so I just waited to get more intelligence to see what was going to go on. So he moves the Witch King to Dol Fair enough. Not much I can do about it. What do I do? I've got one ring left. Do I hide? Um, do I ring hide? Yep. Hoping for a sprint next turn. The pool is definitely not great. 6 reveals. All them. So he attacks Dol I am obviously, I'm not going to play no quarter. I'm going to play probably. I haven't seen a Muma kill, so I think I play advantageous. Nope, I play daylight. Okay. I get 0 hits back. It's annoying. Okay, that's good. That worked out well. Relentless against that. He still kills 2 to get 5, so it pays off. He gets 3 hits. You get 3 back. And he presses down again. Okay. And I survive 1 round, take 2 more. Okay, that's cool. That's removed this force from really threatening Pelargir. But let's see, or yeah, Pelargir. So we go. So I've got odds. Um, sort of. Ooh, yeah, he wins if he took Dolomiroth. That's why he pressed so hard. Okay, nice. Okay, well, let's look at it. Yeah, so I almost certainly can't win this game. I could merit. No, I don't even have a ring, so it's impossible to win. If I allow him, ooh, he's got a ring, but if I allow these to combine in Edoras, yeah, I've got options. I don't really have any great option at all. So I just take the lead. I want to take Edoras before it gets any stronger. Luckily, I get a hit. All right, cool. So I've secured the game. Dolomiroth can fall. I've got a muster to reinforce Pilar Gear. If I need to, I can double move here or move some soldiers from Minas Tirith out to here. I won't be able to move the Fellowship, but so he attacks Dolomiroth. He gets his auto hit. Yep. I muster my elite. Let's see what he does. This is pretty telling. Shadows on Misty Mountains. Okay. As a free player, what do you do here? You really need to move once, and you do have Gwahir, so you're in pretty good shape. You move. I get a 3. Beautiful. Love it. Draws a shadow character card. I move again. A 2. Beautiful. I mean, that's just perfect for me. So he had 2 plays left. He could have moved Nazgul to Lorien and attacked. 13 cards left. I've got 2 strategy cards. The odds that one of them is either Power Too Great or Celeborn's Galadriel's Too Great. So he's going to try to attack Pilar Gear. I have no rings left. Um, so I
A
bring
wizard is never late,
Gandalf into
nor
play.
is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Yep, I announced that. Yeah, I was telling Rick he's got to watch my game to see all the choices in time. So he decides to go to for Pilar Gear, and he attacks. Yep. So let's see what's going to happen. Oh, Slick Rick went no card. So you can see it. I have 2 cards, and obviously I'm not going to play advantageous position. I go ahead and play no quarter. This is risky, but all I need to do is buy 1 turn. Um, he's not likely to roll 3 sixes, so heroic death isn't needed. I want to hopefully get 1 freaking hit, and I play no quarter. I figure as long as he misses everything, I'll play advantageous position next round and be on 6s again, and then finally end with heroic death, killing Gandalf if I have to. So he misses, and I roll 2 sixes with no quarter to yeah, I smack the Witch King down. So, okay, cool. There we are. 2 minions slain. He did not get the mouth yet, and I get Wizard Staff a little late and Red Arrow. Okay. Uh, yeah, I had Book of Miserable. Let's see. Shadow player gets no red tiles, so I'm out of rings. Obviously, I'm going to move, and I hit an eye. So that means I can't win this turn. 2 damage. I lose that. Yep. So at the beginning of the turn, I had 2 options. Um, well, I had a couple options, but from here, actually, there's no Nazgul left. Oh goodness, yeah, I killed every Nazgul. So, ow, could I have lost 1 hit point? There was shadows on Misty Mountains that could have been played. Yeah, Isildur's Bane couldn't even be played because that was just one Nazgul. You could have boom boom reinforced. You could have went for Lorien with 1 Nazgul. I think that works. And you could have had 2 tries at it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think I was. Uh, okay, so here's the thing. Had he an auto win, I could have used the will and the character die to retake Dolemroth. But I also wanted to move and try. If I didn't get revealed, it's 100% game over. So I went with that. Can he get one more VP? Possible. Let's just see what he does. He puts the Mouth of Sauron in play. Okay, that's smart. What is he? What is he going for? He's going to reinforce maybe Weston that. Ooh, if he had Shadows Gather, that's what it is. Okay. All right, so here's my play. See if you can look at my cards and kind of figure out what I've got going on. What would you do here? I'm gonna. Oh, I play Red Arrow. That's beautiful. Yeah, I didn't even see that. That makes Edoras pretty unassailable. With everything else, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so he's gonna reinforce for that, and here's what I do just to ensure that Lorien doesn't fall. I put a regular in Lamadon and a leader in Edoras to reinforce that. He moves everything to Lorien for a strike, and then I play a Book of Miserable, which of course allows me, it gives me the Gandalf move I needed. And that sets it up to where no matter what happens here, so that is very doable. And since no quarter or power two great has already been played, I can't counter it. Um, yep, I go ahead and take Dolemroth. It attacks Lorien, starts with Devilry of Orthanc, and I don't have anything other than Heroic Death. So let's see how it turns out. Ugly, ugly start. I roll 3 against 1. Still winnable. I don't even know if you press here, though. Maybe. I think you hope for a red tile and you try to, well, maybe you do. Yeah, I think yeah, okay. I was going to say, I don't think you do press because why minimize your chances of taking Lorien? I've got a 0 strategy cards in hand, so a 1 in 12 of top decking Celeborns. Probably not going to happen. Meanwhile, you're going to want 1 dice here. You could draw Shadows Gather, which has not been played. I don't think. Let's look. I don't think it did get played. He played Lengthens, not Gather. So if he were to draw it, you Lorien and then Edoras, almost certainly. But I freaking top, I didn't even remember that. I top deck Celeborns. That's ridiculous. And he gets Fighting Urkai, but he has to have Saruman in play, so it don't matter. All right, so corruption's out of the way, out of the realm of possibility. Let's see what happens here. He's got his Zildor's Bane. Yeah, right on. And I can't win. That's so freaking dumb. This game just Java is so cruel sometimes. So anyways, well, I can't do anything, and if the way I see it, if he wants to play Day Without Dawn, that's fine. It's not going to change the calculus more than me putting in Celeborn's Galadrim. Sorry. I think that's going to slow him down more than anything. I'm going to use the rest of my musters to hide, and if he kills my Will of the West, then I eat a corruption. So what? I don't care about that. But me hiding and not being able to move increases his odds that he can take Lorien and Edoras in this turn. And I get Thranduil's archers. Yeah. So he thinks he has to reinforce. Absolutely. You're not going to take an 8 hit point army with 11 hit point army 9 out of 10 times. So Rick's really aggravated because he sees that he can't win this turn. And my math is more that I'm trying to see what could he do to win. 2 moves to make a 10 stack and to reinforce. Nope, he's 1 attack short because he could do 1 attack to Lorien to win, and he can get to West Tarandor. but he can't have another attack for Polar Gear. Without Shadow's Gather, he does not have a chance here. So what does he do? Or no, does he? Oh, was I counting that dice? So two? No, he can't. Yep, he can't do it. So um, he can. Let's see. What if it's one, two? No, it's still short. He would have to take Pelargi with just a 5 stack. Pretty hard because almost certainly I'm gonna just. I've got even if I just did a muster of an elite, I could move an elite, and so probably not. Or I just move Minas Tirith out. I have to bank on winning next turn. So yeah, he does that. So all right, cool. Riders of Theoden, of course, I get that. So small strategy. There's 15 against 8, and he has Great Host could be playable with early luck. He's got Cruel's Death. That's probably how I would open. As far as combat cards, I don't know. That's rough. That's really rough. So I go ahead and put forces in Osgiliath to counter. Um, Again, I don't even think that's necessary because my biggest fear is Edoras combined with Shadow's Gather. Yep. Okay. So he starts with Falstange. Fair enough. And I play Valor. He gets 3 hits, and I also get 3. That's that's a pretty good exchange for him for playing Black Captain anyway. And he no cards right here. Wow, really? Hmm. I think this is what led me to believe that he had Shadow's Gather because he has 3 strategy cards and he's not playing any of them, and he has to win this before anything. So he rolls, gets 1, 1. Okay. Presses down. What else am I going to play here? Heroic Death. Yep. Ouch. He gets 3 hits too. That's very nice. I get 1 back. And I should have played it. I don't know. Oh, and so I call it. That's pretty cool. I called New Power Rising before he plays it. And yeah, he gets it. And he's, oh man. Oh well, it doesn't even work for him. Yeah, see, I assumed one of them was Gather, and then when he did play a card, it had to be a Great Host, so I figured Shadow's Gather. It was kind of useless to him. He gets his hit. I don't hit back. So here I've got options. Oh shoot, he can do Polar Gear. That's right. Um, I am banking on him having Shadows Gather, and that's why I saved Riders of Theoden because I just didn't like anything. So I muster an elite, thinking that if he comes down here, this force can move over, and a 5/3 is going to handle an 8, no problem. So, and for me, I obviously I just don't move, and I move a North Elite to the Shire. There's no consequence. So I think he knows he's not going to win 8 versus 11 without leadership attacking into a city with no combat cards. He's not going to win. So he sets up for next turn. Elven Cloaks, Faramir's Rangers, and he gets Ring Racer Abroad, and King is revealed. I take my corruption for not moving, and of course I'm going to hide. So what do you do as shadow player here? You got nothing. The game's over. I didn't know it yet at the time, but the game is over. There's no red tiles. Yeah, it's game over. So he does play Isildur's Bane, which scared me at first, and then he hid. Um, yeah, so we both know. So, anyways, it was a good game. It really sucks about the movement. Does uh, does Rick here win without it? So the question would be, can Rick win this turn? So I would have been back. He still didn't have any red tiles. Let's say I didn't move last turn either. But the turn before that, I moved twice. So maybe I would be on step two. I'd hide here, move again, no matter what. There's no red in. Um, yeah, that sucks. That really takes the fun out of this one. I'll double check, but I'm about positive. I moved Fellowship 6 times and actually only moved him five. But does he win this turn? He has 3 attacks. Um, he's gonna probably move this whole force. Ooh, yeah, I've got to think of that. I have to muster an elite here now, and he likely could win because this turn, what do? Uh Probably because if I move here to prevent him from taking Minas Tirith, I think he just sits there and what reinforces Westamnet for a shot at Edoras, which would give him 7-2. What is that? 11 against 11. Far superior leadership against. I've got Horn Dark. I don't know. There's possibilities. If I muster an elite, though, he attacks, and if I move to relieve him, then he could play Day Without Dawn and probably get 3 hits. What is that? That's less than 50% odds on 5 dice, but I don't know, maybe. And then that would assume that I dunk next turn. So either way, I mean, game's not over or ruined or anything. It's just that sucked. But regardless, I thought it was a fun game. I kind of looked at myself as being out, and on watching the replay, I think I was in a lot better shape than I gave myself credit for. Being in Mordor without what did I have? Yeah, I had to have Roth hold that one turn. But anyways, there it is. I hope y'all like it. I enjoyed sharing it. Appreciate y'all. All right, take care.